I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
Дать работать, например, в стойке Мандалине, он может показать хороший бой. Не секрет, я собираюсь его переводить, я собираюсь его контролировать, заставлять его устать, навязывать свой стиль боя.
UFC 322 is all set to take place on November 15th at Madison Square Garden in New York between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev. Both fighters are training hard for this mega fight. Islam is training intensely with Khabib Nurmagomedov ahead of his debut fight in the welterweight division and is leaving nothing to chance in his preparation, determined to secure a second UFC belt. Welterweight fighter Colby Covington picks Islam Makhachev to beat Jack Della Maddalena. He notes Islam is naturally a lightweight and might be smaller in the matchup, but he's a well-rounded fighter. Colby says if Islam can take JDM down and control him, he has a strong chance of winning. He also points out that the size difference makes the fight interesting and adds that with the odds favoring Makhachev, he sides with the favorite.
Islam versus JDM, what do you make of that? Islam moving up to now welterweight?
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
Colby Covington also calls out Paddy Pimblett, saying he's intrigued by a potential fight if Paddy moves up to 170 pounds. He questions why Paddy is acting like a weight bully and dismisses him as a gimmick. Colby adds that if a fight with Paddy doesn't happen, he might go after Gilbert Burns instead.
I mean, the Paddy Pimblett fight super interests me because in Miami he was talking shit, running his mouth backstage. Like, I wasn't even looking at him or talking to him, and he wants to start some shit. He's been saying some shit. He was saying in an interview the other day, his doctor said he had liver failure from cutting to 155. Dude, come up a weight class. Come to 170. Why are you being a weight bully, Paddy? You're a bum. You're a gimmick. You're a fucking, little English accent and your little bowl cut. That's the only reason people know you. So let's get it going, Paddy. And if I can't get Paddy, then maybe Gilbert Burns.
Moreover, UFC legend Michael Bisping reacts to the Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena matchup, expressing surprise that Islam is such a strong favorite. Feels the odds underestimate Jack given his long win streak and success against top grapplers. Bisping highlights Jack's boxing and footwork as potential advantages if the fight stays on the feet, and he suggests fans shouldn't be surprised if Jack comes out on top.
The crazy thing is that Islam Makhachev is quite a sizable favorite according to DraftKings, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure I saw that online earlier this morning. And I think that's a little bit disrespectful to Jack Della Maddalena. The man's on an 18-fight winning streak. He just beat Belal Muhammad. He defended all the takedowns there. He's beaten grapplers before in the past. Yes, Islam Makhachev is incredible, and he'd be another contender for pound #1, greatest of all time, whatever you want to call it. But Belal Muhammad was a perfect warm-up fight for Islam Makhachev. And with the boxing of Jack, if Islam was to stand with him, that'd be a bad idea. With Jack's boxing and the footwork that is associated with boxing, that's going to help him. That's going to be very advantageous. He knows how to defend the takedown. He knows what he's doing off his back. He can get back to his feet. So yeah, I mean, I understand why Islam is a slight favorite because he's tried and tested and the greatest lightweight fighter that the sport's ever seen. But don't be surprised if Jack Della Maddalena gets it done.
Meanwhile, Jack Della Maddalena's coach, Ben Vickers, fully believes Islam Makhachev will struggle against Jack's punching power. Unlike Belal Muhammad, Islam doesn't have the same ability to absorb clean shots. The coach highlights that Jack's knockout threat is present at any point in the fight, whether early or late, and points to his mix of power and conditioning as crucial factors that could determine the outcome.
I just don't think Islam has the chin that Belal has.
You feel like it's a situation where this is going to be an eventual down the line, like third, fourth round? Or do you think people might even be shocked to see it happen earlier on?
we know for a fact if Jack clips someone clean on the chin, they can go over. So it could happen in the first minute, it could happen in the 24th minute, it could happen in the 24 minute 59 seconds, it could happen 3 rounds in. Jack likes long fights, you know, he likes to be in there, but obviously we're not getting paid for overtime. So if the opportunity arises, we're happy to take it. But Jack's cardio, as we saw, Bilal's reputedly the best like cardio in the UFC, and Jack out cardioed him. Bilal was more tired than Jack towards the end of the fight. So you know, Jack's cardio is exceptional, his power is exceptional, and yeah, I like the fight, I really do.
Ben Vickers weighed in on how Islam Makhachev might perform at welterweight. He noted that while Islam is naturally strong, Jack Dilla Maddalena is the bigger fighter with more power on the feet. Vickers explained that moving up a division after years at lightweight could impact Islam's speed, movement, and cardio. Even with time to adjust to the added weight, he admitted it's difficult to predict how well Islam's strength and style will translate against a true welterweight.
It's going to be fascinating to see what Islam looks like at this weight class. What do you think? Do you think a lot of his power, a lot of his strength translates to the division with Jack?
It's so hard to tell, to be honest. He's a big dude. He's a good fighter, you know. Jack's bigger. Jack's probably stronger. He's got more power on the feet. But I don't know what kind of fighter he's going to be. What I do know is that as a fighter who's fought at 70 his whole career, this is going to be his first time in a very competitive matchup at welterweight, and it's different. It's a different, you know, it's going to be different for him. He's carrying more weight, and obviously he's had months now to prepare for this and get used to carrying the weight, but he's been fighting at lightweight for a decade. You know, so to then move up a weight class, it is different. And I don't know how that's going to affect his gas tank, his ability to move as well.
Similarly, Islam Makhachev's coach, Javier Mendez, also feels that Jack Dilla Maddalena presents a unique challenge for Islam Makhachev compared to his previous opponents. Rather than focusing on Jack's record, he highlighted Jack's unpredictability, timing, and body shots, showing he can build attacks without relying solely on knockouts. Mendez added that Islam's team must approach the fight strategically, staying alert, studying Jack's movement, and actively creating openings instead of waiting for them.
I think what makes JDM so dangerous, number one, he's unbeaten for quite a while. Yep. He's had quite a long win streak, and the fact that this guy mixes it up extremely well. He goes to the body, to the head. He doesn't just stick head hunting. He mixes it all up. He goes body, punch, boom, and then also the kick comes. And with him, his takedown defense is really, really good also. So we are not in a situation where we can think, oh, we're going to go to the ground and we're going to, no, we got to see what he's going to give us. And we have to, we're going to have to make him give us something, because I don't know if he's going to. He's really that good.
Javier Mendez also comments on Islam's mindset ahead of a potential fight with Jack Dilla Maddalena. He explains that Islam isn't concerned with comparing Jack to fighters like Ilia Topuria, but is driven by the challenge itself. Mendez adds that Islam thrives in testing his abilities and relies on the full skill set he has built through years of disciplined training.
It's hard to say if he's a harder challenge. You know, I just know Islam wants this one. So for me, that's the challenge I want, you know, and it's the challenge that I know Islam's going to be, you know, supreme over, because I just know his skill set. I know what he brings to the table, and he brings an incredible work ethic along with skill set in every area. So
on the other hand, Sean Brady says he personally wants Islam Makhachev to win, seeing a fight with him as a legacy moment and a true test of grappling skills. He expresses interest in matching his ground game against Islam to see who comes out on top. However, when making a prediction, Brady leans toward Jack Dilla Maddalena, believing the underdog is being underestimated and has the tools to pull off an upset.
Selfishly for me, I would want Islam to win because I want to fight Islam as for a legacy thing, and I think I can beat Islam. I think I can beat anybody in the world. And I want to grapple. I want my grappling to go against his grappling and see who's better. You know, I really would love for that to play out. But if I had to pick, and I know Jack would be the underdog, I would pick Jack.
Sean Brady believes Islam Makhachev's move up in weight has thrown the division into chaos. He points out that Islam and Ilia Topuria appear to be setting up a future fight, which could influence his next move. Brady notes that a loss would likely send Islam back to lightweight, while a win at welterweight might keep him there for a short run. He predicts Islam would defend the belt once or twice before eventually vacating it or retiring.
Islam coming up is what kind of fucked up this whole division in the first place, you know, but you can't be mad at him. If I was in that situation, I'd probably be doing the same thing. But I know him and Topuria are trying to set something up. If he wins, I think he's staying at 170. I think the chances of him, I think if he loses there's a bigger chance of him going back down to 155, and then maybe them still doing that Ilia Topuria fight. That's how I think of it. I think if he wins at 170, he'll defend it 1 or 2 times, and then he'll bounce from there. Yeah, and vacate or retire. Like, those guys, they're not fighting very late into their 30s, you know, they're retiring early, so.
Robert Whittaker expressed surprise at Islam Makhachev giving up the lightweight championship. He explained that while fighters often follow trends, this move felt unusual, because Islam is currently one of the UFC's biggest stars. Whittaker believed the promotion would want him to hold the belt as long as possible, making the decision even more unexpected.
You know what I think was unexpected was the relinquishing of the lightweight title.
They don't want to do it anymore. No one can be double champ technically anymore.
I expected it in a sense that because Topuria did it, people would have to follow suit. But Islam's kind of like the poster boy right now for the UFC in terms of like mega star sort of things, right? Yeah, I didn't see them doing that, but I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong, because I think double champs is really stall the division. You know what I mean? So I'm happy the lightweight division can move on again.
Robert Whittaker analyzed the matchup and favored Jack Della Maddalena. He believes Jack's toughness and determination will help him handle Islam Makhachev's wrestling pressure. Whittaker highlights that Jack's striking could provide an advantage if the fight stays on the feet, and notes that Islam might hold back from his usual takedown-heavy approach, aware that Jack can be dangerous even from his back.
I'm going to go Jack. I think Jack has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the ground, the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hands. Yeah. I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns during the fight. I think, and this is people sleep on Jack's grappling game. They sleep on his jiu-jitsu. I don't think Islam is going to be as gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes, because Jack has that level of offense off his back.
Robert Whittaker looked at the matchup through a strategic lens, comparing it to Islam Makhachev's earlier fight with Alexander Volkanovski. He felt Jack Della Maddalena could use his skills to exploit moments that other opponents couldn't capitalize on. Whittaker highlighted Jack's timing and precision in striking as a key factor that could cause problems when Islam tries to close the gap. While Islam still holds the wrestling edge, Whittaker noted that Jack's grappling and striking mix gives him tools to stay dangerous throughout the fight.
From the things that I remember seeing in the Volk fight, their first pairing, I see the fight potentially going that way, but I think Jack's in a better position to take advantage of the things that Volk couldn't. I think he's got better hands, especially over 5 rounds with the longer arms and the reach, especially considering Islam's going to be trying to close that distance to get closer. Jack's tight fighting is so high level. Honestly, skill-wise, I think they both have their strengths. I don't think either one of them is overly superior in any which way. Yes, Islam would be a better wrestler, but Jack has the grappling to kind of threaten that. Not to mention, I think he's got the type boxing to make him pay for anything he doesn't pull off well.
Robert Whittaker predicted that Islam Makhachev would lean on his kicking game, taking advantage of its success against Alexander Volkanovski. He observed that Jack Della Maddalena has shown vulnerabilities in defending kicks, which could leave him exposed if Islam targets them consistently. Whittaker noted that once Islam wears Jack down, he could use takedowns to take control of the fight.
I do think Islam has got the kick superiority, and if Jack doesn't address that, which he hasn't in a lot of his fights, the kicks, he's going to get kicked a lot. Okay, Islam likes throwing kicks. He used that very well against Volk as well. I think that's going to be a game plan of Islam, is try and wear him down with those kicks, take a takedown when they see him. But I can see him really going heavy in the kicks. External factors aside as well, Jack has nothing to lose.
No, he doesn't.
You know what I mean? As well. And I think Islam's got everything to lose. He's the hottest prospect right now in MMA.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Islam Makhachev hinted at a possible return to 155 pounds to face Ilia Topuria after being asked at a press conference if he would move back down to destroy Topuria and finally shut him up. His sharp response immediately electrified the crowd.
Также хотел бы попросить тебя вернуться в легкий вес, чтобы ты уничтожил Топурию, и он наконец-то заткнулся и не говорил ничего о бойцах из Дагестана. Ислам Макхачев чемпион!
Как ты хочешь, созываем.
Islam Makhachev discussed his current weight and comfort level at welterweight during the Eagle FC press conference. He revealed that before his last camp, he was around 183 to 185 pounds, but with proper training and nutrition, he now sits at about 189 pounds. Makhachev said this is the weight where he feels strong and sharp while sparring with natural welterweights. He added that gaining more size isn't a priority, as his camp has already prepared him to compete effectively at the higher weight.
Islam, what is your weight now? How much did your weight change, and how did your physical condition, your physical preparation change? You know, up until last camp, I think my weight was about 83, 84, but now with the right regimen, with the right diet, my weight is now 86 and a half. Yesterday was 86 and a half. I think right now I'm where I need to be. I'm at the right weight. I'm at the place where I feel comfortable with working out, sparring, and working with the guys that usually fight at 77. To continue to gain the weight from now on is not necessarily the goal of mine. I mean, it might go up by 1 or 2 kgs in training still, but we're already done plenty of work during this camp with heavyweights to make sure to gain the proper weight that we need.
The former lightweight champion also addressed a potential return to lightweight following his welterweight debut. He acknowledged that cutting to 155 pounds has never been easy and said the decision will depend on how his body reacts after the fight. Makhachev added that if he competes at 85 or 86 kilos, he and his team will need to carefully plan their next steps.
Would you ever consider going back down to lightweight? Because with everything you said, most likely cutting weight is going to be only harder. Depends on how much weight I'll gain after the fight. So if I'm going to go up to 83 or 84, that's possible. But if I'll go up to 85, 86, then I'm not sure. I mean, it was never an easy thing to cut weight. So we'll have to sit down with the team and we'll have to figure out what the next move is.
Furthermore, Islam Makhachev discussed Ilia Topuria's next fight, suggesting that the most logical matchup at lightweight is against Arman Tsarukyan. He noted that Arman has already proven himself as a top contender and deserves the opportunity. Makhachev added that if Tsarukyan approaches the fight with the right mindset, he has the tools to challenge and potentially beat Ilia.
На твой взгляд, сейчас самый справедливый бой за чемпионство в легком весе между Ильей Топурией и Арманом Царукяном?
Ну да, конечно. Если кто-то когда-то, не знаю, в истории страховал бой, делал вес, он всегда дрался почти. Ну, я не помню в истории, чтобы не давали бой. Арман сделал последний турнир вес, подстраховал бой, и я думаю, он должен быть следующий. Он доказал, что у него же была проблема с весогонкой, он доказал, что может спускаться, гонять вес, и я думаю, что это самый актуальный бой на данный момент.
У кого было бы больше всего шансов на победу?
Ну, я думаю, если честно, если Арман выйдет с правильным настроем, то он справится.
However, Ilia Topuria isn't interested in facing Arman Tsarukyan, as he's already looking ahead. He makes it clear that holding titles in 2 divisions isn't enough, and sets his sights in welterweight if Islam Makhachev captures that belt. His plan underscores his ambition and fearlessness, driven by the goal of chasing greatness and building a legacy as a 3-division champion.
If Islam becomes the welterweight world champion, for sure I'm gonna push for that shot also, and I will move to the welterweight division.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan emphasized that he won't wait around for a title shot. He believes he has already earned the opportunity and urges the UFC to make it happen, confident that no one else has a stronger claim and ready to prove himself in the cage.
Are you like not in a huge rush right now, mostly because you also know you kind of deserve the next shot, but you're not in a rush because you have a lot of time to develop? And a lot of the people at the top of the lightweight division are a little bit older. They're coming to the end of their careers, like Poirier right now, Max. Where do you think you fall in a few years? Like, are you not in a huge hurry right now because you are so much younger than the rest of the division? How do you see him phasing out?
No, I'm in a hurry. I wanna fight for the title as soon as possible because I deserve it, my spot, and I'm here, and nobody can take it because nobody deserves it more than me to fight for the title.
I saw
right now. It's they gotta make the fight. I gotta fight for the title.
However, the lightweight champion Ilia Topuria is still not in this matchup and has completely dismissed a fight with Arman Tsarukyan, labeling it low stakes and claiming Tsarukyan folds under pressure. Questions whether someone unable to handle a major opportunity deserves a title shot, making it clear he doesn't view Tsarukyan as a serious threat.
Tsarukyan es más fácil de todos. Es mucho más fácil que Paddy, incluso te lo digo. Mucho más. Es que no sé ni qué nombre ponerle a él. Tú imagínate tener la oportunidad de pelear por el campeonato del mundo y cuando llega el día decir que te retiras porque te duele la espalda. O sea, no lo concibo, no lo puedo llegar a entender, ¿sabes? Sin un brazo hubiera subido. Yo me da igual el día cuando me tocaba pelear con Ball, con Max, vamos, me da igual, subo, pero de todas formas. Y él, ya saben lo que hizo. No me duele la espalda, no peleo. Tío, claramente, mentalmente no está donde tienes que estar.
So, this is all we have from today's video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to our channel to get more updates about the upcoming UFC encounters.